Assalamu alaikum, good evening and welcome to the Ramadan show. Lovely to have you with us today. So our show today is brought to you by British Muslim TV in association with Shazans. And as we've been doing over the last couple of days, we're going to introduce you to a new recipe. So Greg is doing some amazing things in the corner over here, mixing up some magic that we're going to go over to him and find out a bit more about what he's doing. And then I've got two guests with me in the cozy corner who we'll be talking to today. And today's focus will be talking about halal certification. So before we do that, welcome again. So good to have your company with us today. So Greg, let's find out what you're doing today. So how are you doing?
Hello, Kia. How are you today? Great to see you.
I see you put on your royal gloves.
I have,
like that.
Because I'll tell you what we're doing is, and then what we'll do is when you're going to speak to your guests, we're going to sanitise this down so we've got all the cook. But what I'm going to show you is we're going to do some piri-piri wings today.
Oh,
so this is like a sharing thing. So we're going to put a little bit of rice for it, and this is like a starter type. You know what I mean? Just so it's like nibbles, what you'd have.
Yeah.
So that is what we're going to be doing with some piri-piri. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a little way how to tumble, what we call it tumbling in the game, and how to coat it, and it makes it really easy. How you do it? All you do is you put it into a food bag like that, and you do that, and it's coated.
You see, this is what talented people who cook, this is what they do. They have all these amazing shortcuts. So there we go. So
and that saves you putting it into a bowl and everything else. And look, you haven't even...
And you've saved all the washing up.
Saved all the washing up in a little food bag. So that's how we've done that.
That's really good.
And so we've tumbled that. And what we're going to do is we're getting some in the oven. We've gotten some on here. And we're going to do you some wings. Because these piri-piri, I don't know if you know much about the piri-piri.
So go on, you tell us.
Well, it's Portuguese style, to be honest.
Sure.
So what's happened with Portuguese is they've took it and... They've got that piri-piri chilli in there, and they've got some garlic powder, some onion powder, and some paprika and some salmon in there.
And it's the paprika that gives it that lovely
That's right, yeah.
colour
And there's some cardamom and some ginger in there as well. So all that ground spices, and that's what makes up your piri-piri mix. And so what we've done is we've done that, and we're going to do it on some wings, and then we're going to serve it up with a little bit of rice, and for you to taste today and see how you think.
You know, I mean, I can already smell the aroma of the spices, which just is filling the studio with a great smell, which I'm sure is going to just get more and more, sort of like, tantalising as the time goes on. So, okay, Greg, look, we will come back to you then for the next stage of the cooking, but really look forward to it. I have to say that Greg's other dishes have been banging, so I have no doubt that this is going to be great too, and our guests are going to love it. So, speaking of our guests, let's come on and meet our guests today. So, joining us today, we have Amir Masoom, and also we have Saqib Mohammed. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today on the British Muslim TV Ramadan show. On behalf of HFA, Halal Food Authority.
Halal Food Authority, yes.
That's the organisation that you're from.
I'm from Halal
Great
Food
stuff.
Authority, yes.
So it's really great to have you both on the show, and we've been through a bit of a journey this week, talking about different aspects of the whole halal sector, looking at what meat produce comes about, how it is, what the layout looks like in the UK. But today, particularly, we wanted to focus our show on the certification. So, tell us a little bit about what we mean then when we say certification.
Well, when we talk about certification from a consumer perspective, there are different types of certification. One is the generic halal certification that we see outside any shop front, which is just generic self-certification. Another certification level is after proper thorough scrutiny and auditing, which is just assured certification, which is scrutinized and supervised. And third level of certification is just supervision with the seal of assurance, like some bodies issue that kind of certification as well. And of course, Amir will add something to it.
Yeah. So in terms of certification, and from your point of view, because obviously you are an organisation that specialises in that, what kind of things would you say are really important in terms of... So, and when we say certification, there are different classifications from what I understand?
Yes, as explained by Saqib Mohammed, there are different kind of certifications. but the main one, which is like which is accredited by some accreditation bodies, in that one, as I'm talking about Halal Food Authority, we do a scrutiny of the product first. So it's that is called food technology. So our food technologists, they are trained and they are go into details of all the ingredients, verify and check whether it is the suitability by checking their ingredients sourcing form and whether it is having any non-halal material or something.
Sure.
Once that is done, then we will then our process of verifying on-site audits, which we call audits. So we go, our trained auditors, they go there, they check the process, whole of the process, and check if the process is halal. So first is the product was checked, and now is the process is checked. And after that, we we have a certification committee, which which includes Sharia people and myself as well, and trained expert people, other technical people. So they scrutinized, checked both the reports submitted by the food technologies and the audit department, and then issue a certificate based on their recommendations.
So as an international expert, because this is your field, but internationally, how does that differ from certification abroad? Does it differ? I mean, is there...
Well, at a certain level, yes, because we don't necessarily follow the same standards. Internationally, in different parts of the world, for example, Eastern Europe, halal standards and certification standards and auditing standards are a bit different. In the UK, we have got animal welfare at high standard. We have got very, very reputable and accredited certification bodies with very good trained auditors and professionals. So, and then we have got wonderful products. So, of course, our UK certification standards and assurance schemes and assurance regime is much more robust and stringent. And internationally, I mean, we would just suggest that, I mean, everything is not the same.
Sure.
So whatever we import from other part of the world may not have the same standard as we have got in the UK. So UK, Centre of Excellence for Halal, I would say.
So, well, I mean, that is a really interesting and important point. We're going to come back to that because we're now going to take a very short break for the... We've got a few seconds yet to go for the Azan break, which we'll be covering from London, which is great for you guys because you're both from London,
yes.
But you have to open it with our time here today. But this is a great conversation and we will continue it after the Azan. So we're taking a short break now for Azan and we'll be back with you, so stay tuned straight after this. Welcome back to the Ramadan show. I'm joined with two guests to the British Ramadan show, and I'm joined by two guests in the studio. We have with us Amir, and we also have with us Saqib from, Amir is from the International Expert Halal Food.
Halal Food Authority.
The Halal Food Authority, I do beg your pardon.
Yeah.
And Saqib is from the International Halal Expert and is an independent. So we just started a really interesting conversation about certification, about what the international perspective is. So I think what would be really interesting now, I guess, is to talk about. So we've kind of outlined what certification means. So what falls outside of what you would consider certifying? So what is certifiable in terms of meat and what isn't?
If we talk about because at the moment we are focusing on the meat at the moment, so animal has to be alive at the time of slaughter, whether it is and it has to be slaughtered by a Muslim slaughterman, and the full blood should be drained, and the blood loss is the only cause of the death. That will be accepted as halal with anywhere in the world if you go there. But the non-acceptable, in which the animal, you cannot verify it, that animal was alive.
Okay, I just need to stop you there, sorry.
Yeah.
Iftari is now open.
Okay.
So for anyone that's fasting in Wakefield and surrounding area, now is the time to open your fast. Bismillah.
Bismillah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I offer you some water. So yes, so I mean it is really important, I guess, to understand not just the whole notion of what is and isn't halal, but also to understand what parameters we fix when we say it's certified. So I think you've covered that really well by talking about what different types of certification there are. I think it's really interesting and I think important for our viewers to understand what you would consider certifying and what you wouldn't.
Yeah, and if we talk about the certification with the acceptable standards and all those things, so anything which is complying to HFA manual, we have our own manual. You can go on our website as well. You can get these information from there. Anything falls into that one, we can accept it, and based on our food technology work, our auditor complying to the auditor are satisfied, and there is a supervision, regular supervision on the site.
Sure.
If the food business operators they are complying to these things, we accept them as a halal certified by HFA.
So are there any things that you would consider that, you know, that's not a standard that we...
Well, in that way, what you can just do is this is a very important point to mention here as well, that there are some production sort of systems that cannot be certified. For example, if your halal production is being carried on side by side pork production,
Right,
then any certification body which has got robust standard, like for example HMC, like yourselves HFA, they wouldn't consider certification of that as long as pork is on the side. Of course, no certification can be done. Similarly, if your ingredients have got ethanol in it, then of course that product cannot be certified.
Right. Okay.
So any product which has got pork derived ingredients, which will pose a lot of risk of cross contamination as well, then certification will be out of question in that. So these are the risks that certification bodies have listed down in their manuals, which will be shared with the manufacturer so that they would know what they are expected to do and how they can comply with the standards.
Yeah.
So these are the things which really pose significant risk to certification, and that will not be considered as certifiable system.
Just to add on this one, it's not only the product itself, because of the cross-contamination, as mentioned by Saqib, it can be from the packaging material as well. So we go into detail of the packaging material, whether it contains anything which is derived from the porcine material, and we ask our client to sign a no-pork policy. And not only those ones, if there is any ingredients involved in that one, so we ask our clients to supply us the statement, halal statement, which all those things which Saqib mentioned must be ticked as negative.
Sure.
And so HFA and the British standard is very high, as explained. And the reassurance system, we follow the highest standard level. And
so let's bring the conversation along now to talk about actually the meat products and also the assurance process.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously our discussion today is about the UK halal assurance.
Right. Okay.
And being HFA.
Yeah.
So for example, you certify Shazan's pre-pack, you know, so it'd be really good to kind of like understand. So if we look at, for example, the in-store certification, so that's done by HMC. So we're going to just watch a very short video on that and then come back to you both.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm one of the regional managers of the London area. Today we're going to be doing an inspection audit at Tesco's in Hayes. What we do, we come into Tesco's, any HMC certified outlets, a minimum of 4 times a week, and we do a random visit where we come in and do a full audit of the actual store. of what's going on inside the actual shop. Shazan Local is the brand that we certify for Tesco's, and Shazan Select is the brand that we certify for Morrison's. How you can tell something is HMC or something isn't HMC as a consumer, what we say, we look out for 3 things. Look out for our HMC certificate that will be displayed. You can scan the QR code, which will lead us to our HMC website to make sure that this actual shop is actually HMC, as well as a yellow window sticker that we have on the windows to make sure that this is HMC. So you've got a certificate, you've got a HMC website that will have the listing of this specific outlet, as well as HMC yellow window sticker. To make sure whatever we consume, we need to make sure it's genuine and actually halal. So HMC, we only certify unstunned products from the time it gets slaughtered all the way down, and we monitor the whole chain. Why am I so passionate about it? I've been doing it for the last 15, 16 years. With HMC, I was a volunteer a long time ago, and it's just something that I've been doing for ever since. My message to the British Muslims this Ramadan of 2024, thank you for supporting HMC, and come support your local HMC certified shops.
So that was HMC and the process that they use. So is that very different to the process HFA use? And, you know, are there key things from that that we would want like our viewers to know about?
HFA is a little bit slightly different than HMC, because we issue a certificate.
Okay.
A yearly certificate, depending on if this is meat, we audited them twice a year, but we supervise them. And we do our product approval first, and then we do the audit, and then is a continuous supervision is required to continue if they want to continue with their certification.
Sure. So, and is the slaughter different?
No, slaughtering is, as I mentioned, all the requirements that animal has to be alive at the time of slaughter. It has to be slaughtered by a Muslim slaughterman, saying Bismillah, Allahu Akbar before slaughtering. And the blood loss is the cause of the death.
Sure.
So all of them, they are same.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are quite strict and quite, you know, firm sort of like guidelines. And yeah, so that's really important. And it's really good that both of you do that and both of you assure that within your respective brands. So I wanted to move on now to ask you a little bit about, for example, the livestock and the meat products, you know, the quality of that. And is there a difference with that in the UK and abroad, or do they? I mean, I'm gonna come to you, Saqib, for that, because I think obviously with your international perspective, you can probably say more about that and inform our viewers.
UK has got the world's best animal welfare standards, very high animal welfare standards. And on top of that, we have got wonderful quality of meat because of the location, because of the feed that our landscape provides. We are having our grass-fed animals here. We have got very wonderful systems of rearing and grazing animals. So that produces very good quality meat. And that is actually a significant part where we can just say that our meat is different than the rest of the world in terms of lamb, whether it's chicken as well. So yeah, that's a bit different, much different. Okay. And that actually opens up a lot of market for the UK produce. So
I'm just going to bring you both over to where all our cooking is happening to offer you some of what the wonderful Greg has made today. If you'd like to come over, we'll continue our conversation, but we'd also like you to try the amazing chicken wings that Greg has made. So Greg, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. Please take a seat.
Smell nice.
what do we have here?
Please, guys, come and take a seat. How are you?
Thank you, very good. Thank you very much. Oh, that smells very nice there.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Well,
So
what we're
Greg-
doing, we're just going to put a little bit of chopped chive on there, and we're going to decorate it up.
So talk us through then what you've done.
Now then, what we've done is we've marinated these wings, and these have been done for a few hours before we cook them.
Yeah.
Put them through the oven. I've just griddled them off now, just to finish them off. We've got a little bit of lemon and coriander rice that we're going to serve with it.
Oh.
Now, I just want to show the people at home that literally this would be what you'd put in the centre of the table for everyone to dig into.
Yeah.
And I hope that looks all right for you.
All
so what
right.
we're going to do,
Greg, what do you mean all right? It looks very
so what
all
we're going
right.
to do now is, well, I've put you plenty of serviettes, because this is quite good finger food. I have put you some forks there. I'm going to put you a little bit of this in there.
So the chicken wings, Are they Shazans?
Yes,
Are
they are
bought over the
Shazans.
counter?
Yes, I received them this afternoon. That's how
Wonderful.
lovely they were. And all what I've done is I've left some in a 2-joint, and then I've chopped some up and put them in a single joint.
So, Greg, can I just ask you, were they pre-marinated or they?
No,
or
no,
you've just literally
I've
taken.
marinated them myself.
And this is all real time, by the way, folks. So
Yeah.
all this food is prepared in real time.
Right, okay. Nice.
So what I've done is I've marinated these this afternoon. You can buy any marinade, like I was explaining earlier, of the Portuguese influence from these.
So
And
we've
you get
gone
the
Portuguese
piri-piri.
today. We've gone
Yeah.
peri-peri today.
And we've gone for peri-peri today,
Wonderful.
which is quite spicy. I'd like to pass that one along to you. And also what you can do is, what I've done on there is I've just napped a little bit of sriracha sauce on top of those just to show the people, and it's just like a little drizzle you can put on. But please, it'd be really nice for you to try these.
Yeah, it looks amazing, and I think our guests are ready to try some food.
Well,
Yeah.
So,
well, the fasta's open now, so please, guys, please
indeed.
dig
So
in.
please try
tastes-
these amazing
It will be.
chicken wings.
I've put plenty of serviettes out. It is a finger food,
It
so
is,
please
it is.
dig in
So,
and tell me what you think.
What sauces do we have here?
Oh, right. So what we've done is you can have a number of sauces with it. So I've put some sweet chili sauce. I've put a Kansas barbecue sauce with it.
Okay,
I've put
wonderful.
a salsa with it, and I've put a garlic mayonnaise.
Okay.
You could use a blue cheese, and you
what's
could
this
do
one?
different ones. This is a Kansas barbecue.
Ah, right, okay.
So just if you fancy something different, or like I said, there's a little bit of garlic mayonnaise in here to go with it.
Okay,
and
so
it's
let's
just so
give
you
this a
can
little
try
try.
it. But please dig in and tell me what you think, guys.
Wow. This tastes wonderful. Must taste wonderful. Because it looks very nice.
It looks, well, they say that half of the process of eating is with the eyes.
Well, that's what we always say. We was explaining this yesterday, wasn't
Yeah.
we? And literally, it is what you see in front of you. If it looks appetising to start with,
Then you wanna
there's
eat
a good
it.
chance you're going to
Indeed.
dip in and eat it. What do you think, guys?
It is very
Wonderful, man.
It's really lovely,
Yeah.
really lovely. Great.
Is that good?
Very good.
Yeah, well, that's
We know
fantastic.
we
Is it
know-
spicy enough for you?
Oh, yeah, it is for me.
Wow,
What about
yeah,
you
it is.
guys?
It is it's good. Like it's quite normal for me,
Yes, yeah.
but I love them. Yeah.
But
So,
For us, is yeah.
so where can we direct our viewers to for the recipe?
the recipe can be found on that Shazan's website. So you can go on there, and the recipes that we have done already and the ones that are going to come up are on that website. So please go on to www.shazans.com, and all the recipes that we've done. Myself and Denise has done some as well, who you're going
Right.
to see later on in the programme.
So we're just wrapping up
They're
the show
nice.
now. But thank you so much for that. Thank you both for joining us on the show today. It was a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We will be back tomorrow, where we'll be doing some more cookery.
We're going to
more
be
great-
doing some tamarind and ginger kebabs for you tomorrow on
which-
thigh meat.
Oh, on
Chicken.
thigh meat. That's my favourite meat of chicken,
Good.
you know, thigh meat.
Good.
Okay, well, that's great. So that is something we'll definitely be looking forward to. So please do join us tomorrow for the Iftari show on British Muslim TV in association with Shazans. Till then, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful evening. Assalamu alaikum.